Hey, welcome to the Magic Pill Coach Show. I'm Caleb Miller with Magic Pill Coaching, with Magic Pill Coach, and I want to introduce you to the Invisible Order. Okay, and I explain in my other videos, where I come from with the Invisible Order. So, generally on each show, I'm assuming you know a little bit of something about it and shit. But it's the Invisible Order, procrastination in the Invisible Order. Okay, so when you come to the circumstances of procrastination, when you can feel the Invisible Order, you no longer have issues with procrastination. It's like it's sort of like tuning into the Force. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi saying to Luke Skywalker, use the Force. But the Invisible Order is something that I tune into and that I teach. My three mentors are Byron Katie, Alan Watts, and Osho. And I come out of growing up. I measured my potential. I realized I wanted to try and take my experience to the next level. That's how I came upon Invisible Order. Because it seemed to me that we as a human race are so caught up in measuring and judging personal behavior, judging my behavior, like judging our personal behavior, our body and our life, and what's going on in the world, according to an assumed order. And that's what I call the superstition of the visible order. The superstition of the visible order. SOVO, superstition of visual order. And so this is kind of the whole story thing, superstition of visual order. And this assuming we're judging our behavior and the behavior of the world in the awareness of the body, personal awareness, or worldly awareness of the world, of where are these behaviors, how do they align with the assumed order. The assumed order is whatever order your particular focus is on. It could be a religion, it could be the laws of society. And the problem with this is, I think we kind of maybe come onto the stage, we grow onto the human stage that we're at, and we think that we certainly behave as though behaving in line with a certain order is going to produce a certain experience. For example, the American dream. You grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, you have a career, get a job, and you retire. And it's just great if you can do it right, if you can swing it right, retire with enough money, you can sail the world or whatever. But the problem is that following the assumed order, the superstition of the visible order, inevitably lets you down when you are looking to that order to give something to you, to give you your emotions. Now, I see a lot of our problems as having unresolved emotions, and we project those unresolved emotions out into the world. Okay, so you hear people saying, well, like you've got childhood unresolved emotions, unresolved childhood issues, and there's something to that. If emotions can get caught in our bodies and close our bodies off to emotion, a closed body, where you are living in your life, you're living out of fear and apathy, afraid of getting more wounded and being more closed off, and somehow we behave as though not opening up, we are keeping ourselves from getting hurt, right? We're sort of shielding ourselves from bad things. People can shoot us with arrows. The last thing you want to do is take another arrow into your fucking wound, right? So, but what we really want is to experience emotional cycles, and that's the richness you see in most little kids, where they instinctively know. This is because they are connected with the invisible order. They instinctively know that that they are instinctively in this flow of this emotional cycle. They're very emotionally resilient. They may be crying one minute, laughing the next moment, and you often notice that kids want to be told stories before they go to bed because they like to experience that emotional arc of surprise, maybe a thrill, a new understanding, and then a resolve. This feeling that everything is okay, and now I'm going to go to sleep. Kids are they like to have that emotional resolve, and then they do it all again in the next day, right? And so this is invisible order. This is what I seek to connect to and relax into, and this is what I want to share. This is the Magic Pill Coach Show. This is magicpillcoach.com. This is me. It's what I'm about. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it now. Feeling the invisible order and coming from fear and apathy to love and compassion. Now, like I said, my mentors were Osho, Byron Katie, and Alan Watts, and so how would you know if you are free? Now, we have this sort of, we experience this birth and this death in our human body, this beginning and this end, but we have many beginnings and ends in each day and night. We have weeks and months and years, so we have this huge arc divided up into tiny little arcs, and I think pretty much to our understanding, the best way to try to shoot for a good experience, a human experience, is being fully open to emotion, not blocking yourself, being open, experiencing the love and compassion as it available us, experiencing the spectrum of emotion, colorful experience, etc. And this comes from being connected to what I call the invisible order. Okay, and that's against, assumed order is when you look out into the world and you say, well, basically, it's sort of like cause and effect thinking. We like to think in cause and effect because it makes for good movies, setups and payoffs. Cause and effect is kind of like setups and payoffs. It's kind of the way we think in these arcs, but it's not the way nature actually works. Because eventually, you may perceive an order out there in the world, but that order never had, its beginning is not out there in the world, because the order comes from inside. Order is invisible. That's why I say invisible order. This is what we want to connect to, and from now on, not assuming order as it relates to your human experience and your ground. Of course, you want to assume order when you are playing a game, and you're playing a game. If you're playing basketball, you want to assume the order, a certain order, But at the same time, there's certain orders you don't want to assume. You want to explore invisible order at your own creativity. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. That's kind of a summary of what I'm doing here. I hope you'll get a coaching package with me. or download some of the free stuff at magiccoach.com. Get introduced to the Invisible Order, and enjoy. Thank you very much.